Hello and welcome to a new TECHunplugged Videocast. I'm Max Mortillaro and I'm here at VMworld Europe 2019. I'm joined today by Gurpreet Singh. Gurpreet, hello. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Thank you, Max. Thanks. My name is Gurpreet Singh. I'm the CEO of Pavilion. Very excited to be here today at VMworld Barcelona. Well, today marks a transformational moment for the company. We've been in the market for over 2 years now, and we're getting a lot of good traction with phenomenal customers, name brand, Fortune 100 customers, enterprises, Global 1000 customers, as well as federal customers, and a lot of interest coming from AI, ML, IoT, mobile application use cases, ones that drive a massive amount of information and IOPS and analytics related stuff. But today we're very excited. We're announcing with our latest release of our software, a VMware certification. Today, officially, we are ready for VMware storage. What that means is now we can penetrate much deeper into enterprise customer segments and workloads, which are much more mainstream enterprise applications. And that just opens us up into a real enterprise play. Now, very many people know that we actually have a full suite of data services as well. From the very beginning, we have RAID 6, HA, resiliency, NDU, thin provisioning, snapshots, clones, encryption. But this last bit of VMware certification with this new release really announces that we are ready for main enterprise applications.
Awesome. So, Gurpreet, can you please give us a kind of a recapitulation of where Pavilion has been coming from? Because you've been one of the main innovators in NVMe storage, and you have a very interesting architecture.
Yeah. So Pavilion was founded by some very sharp engineering minds about 4 years ago. They looked at the data infrastructure of these modern web-scale internet companies, Facebooks and likes, and they realized how Facebooks and those people are doing their data infrastructure. And the key epiphany was, if the hyperscalers are doing something now, the rest of the world is going to catch up in 5 to 6 years from now. And that was the genesis of Pavilion, to build a new architecture for data infrastructure, data architecture, for storage arrays that affords an order of magnitude, maybe 2 orders of magnitude more performance in terms of capacity, density, IOPS, latency. And so that allows us to consolidate an order of magnitude more applications, especially relevant in the new world of IoT and analytics and AI and ML, right? So that was the genesis of the company. The architecture was built around how a network switching solution is built, because those are the devices that can actually ingress and egress hundreds of gigabytes per second bandwidth. So we built a product with that set of technology DNA.
Okay, so where is Pavilion data now? You're at VMworld, you're in 2019. There's been, you said it was a 4-year journey. So what is the solution proposing to customers? So you've been talking about AI, ML, all of these new generation workloads, and we're at VMware. So how is that all playing together?
Yeah, that's interesting. See, like I said, more and more are because we are fast, we naturally gravitate towards use cases which require massive amounts of data that needs to be ingested, processed, served, and stored. So those happen to be AI, ML, HPC use cases. But we're also getting customer interest where they're interested in taking massive VM farms, VMs or containers, in order of magnitude, tens of thousands of VMs and containers, and they want to consolidate that into smaller and smaller footprint, right? So we're announcing also one of our customers who's now going to be public reference for us, Statistic Netherlands. They've been deploying our product for the last 6 months, and it's a massive VM cluster, where they realize 16 times better cost saving and footprint reduction compared to leading all-flash arrays because of the massive scale and density that we have in Pavilion. Now that is interesting, because what that means is, in enterprise applications, to the extent you have thousands and thousands of VMs, if I can help you consolidate to 1/10 the footprint in cost, it can save you a lot of money. And that's what they talk to us about. So they've been deploying us on NFS, which we've had it for the last 6 months, and we're announcing that officially today. But we're also doing one more interesting announcement. In our booth out at the show floor, we are demonstrating true nvme of fabric on VMware
Wow.
today. We're one of the few, perhaps the only companies today that have a running demo on VMware's NVMe Fabric deployment. Now that is in beta because VMware has not announced it yet. We are told that's going to be part of 7.0 release. We will be day zero certified, but the customers are anxious to get into the NVMe Fabric for main enterprise applications as well.
Okay, so one of the interesting things about your customer is that they evaluated, you talked about against competing of flash arrays, but how does the solution place also against other kinds of architecture such as hyperconverged?
Yeah, so hyperconverged is a great play for mid-market commercial tier 2 test and dev use cases. Whereas what we're seeing is for main enterprise data center class applications where you have massive consolidation requirements and also the flexibility to be able to scale compute and storage independently. Rack scale architectures. What I mentioned, the company was founded when a bunch of engineers saw how hyperscalers were doing their data infrastructure, and they were not using hyperconverged because they want to have ultimate flexibility in how I want to scale my compute and my storage, right? And that's what the new approach is, where with this disaggregated rack scale infrastructure, where you can actually you can scale your compute applications independently and have all your data offloaded into a appliance storage array.
Okay, so as a last takeaway for me is you're offering scalability, elasticity, you are allowed to consolidate all kind of workloads, and delivering enterprise class capabilities. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. And the last part, so we've already been synonymous with fast, scalable, performant, dense storage arrays. But the last part is what I want to stress again, where we have full suite of enterprise class features, which mainstream enterprise expects from their storage arrays. We've had it, but today we're making formal announcement with VMware, ready for VMware storage.
Okay. Thank you very much, Gurpreet.
Thank you,
Pleasure
Max.
talking to you.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy the VMworld.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.